Good morning. I cannot help but think about the days I was podcasting when I listened to music because I would, for a long time at the beginning of the podcast, a big part of the podcast was music. And it was not a big deal at that time. I mean, we're talking so many years ago, back really seriously, I started the first podcast 20 years ago. So at that time, they weren't making a big deal about um, copyright rights to the music. And there were websites where musicians who were just starting out and whatever wanted their music heard, they would put their music up, and I had so much fun going through that site, finding a song that I liked, and usually I would put 2 or 3 songs into the podcast, and it was just so much fun for me. And then years went by doing that, and it reached a point where they all of a sudden took that website down. The music wasn't available license free anymore, right? People were wising up, and rightfully so. However, I had to do a number of years then. I had to do the podcast with no music, and I missed it dreadfully. So I'm sort of back to having music as part of my enjoyment of being online and interacting with the internet community. However, it isn't really quite the same. It's not you know, discovering new people, because if I wanted to do Pretzel, I would get the name of the song, maybe the author, the composer, or whatever. I have no love for Pretzel, so I don't use it. I use Chillhop. It's on various sources. I go through YouTube, and I was laughing. I'm going on another rant now, because this one is, I try to find some that are 2 hours long so I don't have to switch around a lot. And this one is called Chill Study Beats, right? And I'm thinking, it has been forever. I mean, forever since I studied anything, did homework or any of that. I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I had, when I was working, I always had said that, hi Jane Wayne, I always said that once I retired, I would go to community college or the free stuff at the big college, or I would take classes, in other words. And I had all sorts of intention. And once I retired, I lost all that initiative. I lost all that interest. I was like, no, there's way too much more to do right now. I don't want to study. So I guess we'll just use the music to study by for streaming by, which is what I'm doing right now. I am going to be spinning the same thing I was yesterday. Different day. Same fiber, same wheel, all of that. It is a beautiful medium soft blend called Plum Dandy, and it is I know it's Romney Teeswater. I couldn't think of Teeswater. That one was eluding me. And Blueface Lester. So I'm working on the first bobbin here, and I will go ahead and see if I can finish this bobbin up today. Let's go to the spinning wheel. Jane, how are you this morning? I'm on that one. I don't want that one. I want that one. Okay. There we go. This is very early for me. I don't normally stream, the earliest I usually stream is 11 to noon. 11 to 1. Sorry, I said that wrong. I'm streaming 10 to noon today. Couple things. We got to go in town, And I had said that while the Tour de Fleece is going on, I would, on the days that are not my normally scheduled stream, I would stream 10 to noon so that if we have other plans, we can go ahead and do them. And I've been sticking to that, but boy, it feels early. I'm still working on my coffee intake here. This, I don't know how this was processed. I don't know. This is the first time I've ever bought fiber from this particular vendor. I bought it this spring in April. But my point is, I've never seen roving this format where it is so flat, so wide, and looks like it's been rolled. Now, once you break it down like I just did this way, strip it down, and I can draft it, it spins fine. But it's an interesting mill format that I haven't actually seen. You're working, Jane says she's good. She's working on her morning spinning too. Yep. I watched some of the Tour de France race yesterday. I got halfway through, I think stage 7. I think I was on stage 7. It's, it's slow going because it's so long, and I like it enough that I want to watch the whole thing. I don't, skip through it. So it takes me a while. I record them, and it takes me a while. No, I am not recording them this year. I am watching them from Peacock, which is a streaming service for NBC. So I am paying for it, unfortunately. I am watching another show on there too. Going through the series of it. I can't remember. I think it might be the one I'm watching. The fashion Project Runway. That's the one I'm watching Project Runway on. So I got a good deal for the first 6 months of it. They always do like a nice introductory deal. And I don't know if I'll be done with it by then or if I'll have to go ahead and pay some more. It's really interesting to me. I know there are people who don't pay for satellite dish or cable because they watch everything streaming. I've been talking to hubby about this. I've talked about this before on the stream. I have been talking that up to hubby. He wants to turn the TV on to the 3 local channels, and he wants to watch some of the really the channels that carry the really older shows like Perry Mason and he's been watching Murder, She Wrote, and he's watching he always watches NCIS. So, I can't get around that right now. We have a satellite dish, and he picks up an awful lot of those shows on that satellite dish, so can't get around it. So what I do is pay for a streaming service for a while and sit and watch it here. I have a big screen monitor, and spin and watch my shows while he watches his TV. A lot of times in the morning, we spend our mornings. One of the things about living in a valley, the outside work that we need to do, a lot of it, of course, I talk about is we mow so much, and we have to wait. The morning dew is heavy. We have to wait for that grass to dry out, and we just don't do much in the mornings. That's why I picked a stream then too. We just kind of hang out and drink coffee and wait for about, if we want to work in the garden, we'll do it early in the morning. But other than that, the rest we wait for things to dry out, get going. Speaking of coffee, I'm going to go ahead and work on drinking it pretty soon because I didn't put it in a thermal. So, we are buying another coffee pot exactly like the one we have. It has reached a point where it takes forever to perk, in spite of all sorts of cleaning. And we're going to take advantage of Amazon Prime Days. I got to put that order in today. Buying some other stuff. They're smart to make it 2 days because I keep thinking of stuff, and so I wait till the second day. They also did a deal for Kindle Unlimited, so I signed up for that with the deal, and I think I have 3 months. I go off again, on again on Kindle Unlimited. They'll send me a thing and say sign up again for this special deal, and I go back and I read some more, and then I don't pay anymore because I think the $12 a month is too much. I think that's what it is. If I only read from that, it'd be worth it, but I don't. I go to the library. I have a huge collection of books. Oh, and that's something else I want to talk about. But I have a huge collection of books that I bought used at half price that I want to read. I don't want to keep, right? I want to read them, and then I'll take them back to half price or whatever. And I'm working through that, but I don't need to read digitally because I have so many regular books that I need to get read, and I just don't read digitally very much. I keep trying, and I don't like it like a book. I like regular books. So, I have an on again, off again thing with that. But I did make a comment in Discord that it's a really good thing Amazon doesn't sell fleeces or fiber, because it would be so dangerous. Yeah, laugh. You've been trying to avoid Amazon Day. It's amazing, I think, I want this, I mean, the coffee pot, it has not actually stopped working. We don't have to, but here's the thing. If I buy exactly the same, the thermal pot works with both, will work with both then. And, if something's wrong with it, I mean, we can't go without coffee. So if something's wrong with the new one, we got the old one to back us up. If this old one would accidentally die, it's not like we can run out and necessarily get it. Sometimes we do, but we have found the same pot. We've used the same pot forever, same style, but sometimes we can go to Walmart and find it. That's not a given. Anyway, coffee pot's one of those essentials in this household. I have subscription on Amazon for our cat food. We try to stick to the same cat food for our cat. I have read in the past that they do better if you don't jump them around on the brands, and we've just used Meow Mix forever. And I have a subscription to get it. You can get it monthly. You can set it for whatever you want. If it's small bag, if the small bag's available, that's about what we use a month. But because we only have the one cat, we're feeding it. And if that's not available, I have to get the next size bag up. So I usually do it every other month. But anyway, that was due to come yesterday, and they always send a little notification through the dot, and it said, it's on the way. And so I told hubby, I said, late in the afternoon, I told him, I said, that didn't come. Have you seen a package? Would you go, do we need to go up and check the mailbox? Maybe it's in the mailbox. We've had them deliver it to the bushes at the top of the lane. I mean, it's crazy sometimes, and he looked at me and he says, well, didn't you see the bag of cat food? It came, it's there, I unpacked it. I was like, no, I didn't see the bag of cat food. So we are safe for another 2 months. It really was a lifesaver when we could not get cat food for a period of time after the pandemic. It just disappeared off the shelves. Every time you went in, the shelves were empty, and it said, a little sign there, we apologize for the inconvenience. There was a period of time when it was really bad, and Amazon always had it. It did save us from that. Now, we have a new porch cat. I call it Porch Cat. I've named it Twitch because its little tail just does this little dance when you pet it. It's just so excited that you're paying attention to it. It's very friendly. And we are feeding it the very inexpensive dry cat food that we can get at our grocery store. We just buy a small bag. Because, I'm not trying to be mean to that cat. Hopefully it's all right. But we are not just feeding that cat. That has drawn 2 other cats because its food is outside. That has drawn 2 other cats. And we know possums and raccoons also come sometimes at night and eat out of that food bowl. So we only put a little handful out a couple times a day for the cat, and she's kind of on her own for the nighttime. But if there's anything left, it's getting eaten up that the little female cat doesn't eat. It's getting eaten up by these cats that are wandering through, as well as the visiting wildlife. So yeah, we're feeding the community here. It's a catch-22, because this cat just insisted it lives with us. We believe it was born across the street, and we believe that one of the cats that comes and goes is a litter mate. The other one, I don't think so, but because the other one, the two litter mates will fight with, but the I'll call it a yellow male and Twitch are friendly with each other. They'll, both be sleeping on the porch together or whatever. So I'm pretty sure they're litter mates. However, she insisted, and I know it's a she because she is very pregnant. We are going to have kittens. It's all the things about cats right now. And for years and years and years, I didn't have outside cats, and now it's just like they're. I mean, it was a big thing whether I was going to call her Twitch or Trouble, right? She's just Trouble. She's adorable, beautiful gray cat, short-haired, so friendly, just like, oh man, you need me in your life, And that was before we knew she was pregnant, too. I mean, that was from day one when she appeared on the porch, and she was friendly. I attribute it to the fact it's a female and not a male. They're more home-oriented, and they're more apt to try and find a permanent place. Yeah, there is never just one. When you feed cats like that, you are right. It's been a long time, but... And, oh man, I tell you, my house cat doesn't get along with them at all, so it's a nuisance. He has to stay inside. He's perfectly happy doing it, but he was used to going in and out. And if nothing else, go out and catch a mouse or a vole or something. He loved to hunt. You have two cat siblings. We rescued them. They were born on your mom's friend's porch. I think 5 in total. One died pretty early, and then 2 others died a few weeks later, so we decided to drive out and pick up the last 2. They were 4 weeks old and covered in fleas. I'm so worried about that. I have looked. She's a short hair. I mean, I have looked and looked and looked. I see her scratching now and then, but I have not seen fleas on her. We treat Newman, our inside cat, monthly with drops that go behind his head on the shoulder blades. And if need be, I would go ahead and pay and get that for Twitch, but as long as she's outside and I don't see any on her, I'm not too worried about it, but it is a real problem, and especially if they come inside. You bathe them on the side of the road twice before bringing them home. Oh my gosh, how did you do that? And then we sprayed the house once after we brought them. Yeah, because I have dealt with that. I have dealt with fleas in the house, and it is miserable. It's miserable. And we really didn't break the cycle until we got absolutely no more fleas on any animal, right? And then we were able to break the cycle. I can't believe even thinking about. Well, you probably knew they were covered in fleas, so you probably prepared. But bathing kittens, oh my gosh, that's a hard problem anyway. Doing it on the side of the road. Okay, so Twitch, I don't know how long it's going to be before she has her kittens, but I am very concerned about them not living. She's tiny, and I just don't know. This would be her first litter, I'm sure. I just don't know that they're going to live and be okay. You had to bottle feed them to about 8 weeks? Oh. Yeah. We had brought a bucket and dishwater. You say the side of the road by your mom, so she brought us warm water. Oh, okay. Oh. I know. I hate washing cats. Fleas off cats. That is never a fun thing. Kittens are a little better. They're not so big. You try to deal with an adult cat, and Lord, you got a spitfire on your hands. But the flea stuff we use is like $30 a dose. Seriously, it's monthly, but seriously, that's expensive, and I really don't. I would only add to that cost for another cat if we had them inside. I would not try and do it on a cat that's outside. When she first appeared on our porch, she had a flea collar on her. Within 3 days, that flea collar was gone. I didn't take it off. It was gone. She took it off. Cats don't like flea collars. They work and work and work until they finally get it off. And, nobody... I didn't go out and say, hey, are you missing a gray cat? But somebody cared enough to put a flea collar on it. That's what I'm getting at, right? Originally, somebody cared enough to put a flea collar on her. So, yeah, you figured that is why they were dying. We knew they had fleas. They stayed in your big dog crate for a while and then stayed in a room until the dog was okay with them. Hubby and I were talking about that this morning. I was saying that, this is not my first rodeo on bringing two cats together. And I was saying, the best way to introduce a cat into a household is if they're a kitten and they can be protected but acknowledged, and then have supervised times, right, where the cat and whatever animal you're introducing it to are together. That's pretty much how I would have to handle if I brought Twitch into the household. However, at this point in time, it's all okay. It's going to change when the weather changes. This is when we're going to have to make a decision. When the weather changes. And I was going to get Twitch neutered, spayed. I thought it was a male, so I said neutered originally when I called the vet. And then I had to call the vet and say, guess what? Not only is it not male, it's pregnant and it's going to have kittens, and it's too late. So I will have to do that before weather gets cold too. Get it neutered, spayed. After this litter, I already asked how long I had to wait after the kittens were born. It's 8 weeks. 8 weeks after they're weaned is what it is. So it's more than 8 weeks, really. My fear is she'll go back and heat again. The other cats, I'm not worried about. They come and go. They're a result of the putting food out on the porch. And if cold weather comes and we get her acclimated in the house and we have another house cat, all of that will stop. So that's the ultimate goal. I just don't know how it's going to happen. It's going to be a long, long process. We are going to go see a Shakespeare in the Park production, Midsummer's Night's Dream, tonight. As well as, since we're going into town, running some errands. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be the last one we go see this year. We saw Loves, it's, yeah, Possessive, Labor's Lost, which was the first I had seen that one that I remember. It's not one that they do very often. This time I need to get my ducks in a row and take something to do. I usually take a drop spindle, and I just was, when we went to the last one, I just wasn't in the mood to mess with anything, so I just went and watched it. But I always have to take mosquito off so that I can spray so they don't bite me. And usually I take knitting or whatever. I think the last year what I took was knitting that the yarn made the pattern. I just knit a little lap blanket so I didn't have to pay attention to any pattern. I don't like having to set up like my iPad or something like that while I'm there. I haven't drop spindled for a long time, so it's probably a good idea if I try to do that. Hi, good morning, Dan. Hope you're having a good start of a day. I think this is my last swig of coffee. Because it is officially too chilly now. So far, it's okay. That's good. um, this is a blend. It's dyed, obviously. No pink purple sheep. It is a blend of Romney, Teeswater, and Blueface Leicester. It's not soft, but it's not unpleasant. It's very, very, very nice. I am going to... I have another ball of it to spin. I'm almost done with this ball. And then I'm going to spin this Blueface Leicester as a ply. This braid. This is 100% Blueface Leicester. It's soft. Blueface Leicester is one of my favorite fibers. I really like it. You got some baby alpaca fiber in the mail, and you can't decide if you want to start spinning it or start a knitting project. Yeah. Of course, with the Tour de Fleece going on, I vote for spinning. How is your alpaca in a top, or do you have to process it too? You're doing your spin every day on the spindle and you're loving it. Yeah, that's good. I don't drop spindle because, for one reason, one of the reasons mainly is because it's very hard to show on stream, right? Spinning wheels are just so much better set up for a stream, so. Oh, okay, okay, well that's good. That's good. It'll spin good on that, especially if it's already processed. It's a small braid already, super soft. Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. I haven't spun alpaca, not any alpaca, for quite a while now. I didn't even pull any out for the tour fibers that I pulled out. What I need is two different types of fiber yarns out of two different types of fiber for the state fair. I think it's like August 11th is my deadline for turning it in. So I'm working on one, which is bamboo, and then I have to spin some silk. And there I'm doing the bamboo on the Ashford, but I am so slow on it. I'm thinking that I may step back from what I'm set out for the Turtle Fleece and do some silk on this Ara. Because time is flying as far as having it done. I will be in Florida for a week, and I can take my Roberta when I go down there, and it's a good time to get some spinning done because I don't do much else when I'm down there. We just stay at Mom's house, and so it's a real good time to get some spinning done. So I do have that as my last. When we get back from that, I'll have to have the skein. I'll have to wash the skein, re-skein it into pretty, and get it into the fair. It's a little short, tight schedule, but doable. But, like I said, maybe I'll go ahead and start it now, not have that pressure of time. I thought about taking my Nano with me instead of the Roberta, but the truth is, it's such a small bobbin, and I don't want to really take a nitty knotty and all the stuff I need to make lots of small skeins of yarn. So while I'm down there, I'll just take my Roberta, which has 6 bobbins, and fill those up. I mean, I do a lot of other stuff too while I'm down there, so it's not like I have to amuse myself with spinning the whole week we're there. Sometimes we take day trips, go do things. going to the eye doctor tomorrow. I don't stream till late night tomorrow night anyway, so I went ahead and made a eye appointment. Be interested to see what he says about my cataracts. I'm hoping I don't have to do anything. I mean, even if they say, okay, it's time, I may not do anything for a while yet. I don't know. But it was time for me to go see an eye doctor. It's been a while. You know, I did not really feel the effects, or quote unquote, the things about aging until I hit 70. You know, it's true what they say. You know, it's not easy getting old. It seems like. Of course, the alternative is worse, so I'm not complaining. Oh, good for you. My back has been getting worse. You had a bad fall off a horse. You were young. Oh, it's never been right since. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's scary. I mean, it's, I am not a horse person. Let's put it that way. I've been on a horse, but it's not a thing with me. This is the last of the first ball, so this will be the last that I put on this bobbin. I am going to do 3 bobbins. I have three 4-ounce things, and I'm going to do 3 separate bobbins. I'm going to ply 2 of the 4-ounce bobbins together, and I'm going to split the next ball of this color into 2 bobbins and self-ply that. So I'll have 2 different yarns. Back then you didn't do physical therapy, so you just got better and got back on, right? And you're talking about get back on the horse and all that, which probably didn't do your back any good, right? And you are right about and when you're young, a lot of times, you know, of course, we are concerned about broken bones or all that kind of stuff when you're older, but when you're younger, you just figure, oh, you'll get better. You'll heal. The young people always heal, right? That's sort of the attitude, and may not be true. I have fallen so many times. I trip over the last 5 years. None of them with dire results, but it's kind of scary how things change as you age. Oh, let's talk food. I made a good supper last night. if I say so myself, and I really didn't have to do all that much. Um, I bought from McCormick, and I bought it a while ago, so I don't know if it's still available or not. McCormick seasoning that you can get in the U.S. grocery stores was called Bag and Season for chicken. So it was kind of their version of Shake and Bake, which I don't know if Shake and Bake is available anymore or not. I used to use it all the time, and I stopped using it, and I haven't looked for it for a while. But anyway, it's that concept. I had our grocery store. I keep getting sidetracked, but our grocery store had this $5 sale. Different things that were, packs or a set size that was $5. And one of them was a bag of chicken, either wings or thighs or drumsticks. I thought I was buying thighs. I ended up buying drumsticks. I didn't realize that they had the various, but parts is parts. Okay, parts is parts. And I ended up with a bag, a $5 bag. And do you know there were 21 legs in there? There were 21 drumsticks in that bag for $5. I was like, man, this is a deal. So I froze 2/3 of it, and I had 7 drumsticks to cook for supper yesterday, and I got out this Bag and Season. And what you do is, it's not that you use the bag that comes in there to shake it, like Shake and Bake. What you do is use that bag to bake it. So you put the bag opened up in a casserole dish, and I shook the chicken with the seasoning in just a Ziploc bag, and you lay your chicken in the baking bag, and I cut up new potatoes, those red skin potatoes, and put those in there. You seal up the bag, but you cut several slits in it, and you bake it. And the chicken came out really moist. There was no liquid in there, or anything like that. But one of the things I don't like about baked chicken is the fact that it just comes out so dry, right? In order to be done, I do not like any kind of red in my. I want that chicken cooked. So I was very, very impressed. It was good. We enjoyed it. And it was easy. It was very easy. Now, probably I won't be able to find that Bag and Season again. The seasoning was not any kind of, it wasn't like Mexican seasoning or Oriental, or it was pretty high, tasted pretty high in paprika. I don't know what else was in there. I probably could have looked at the ingredients. A lot of times when they do that, they do onion flakes and garlic flakes and dried parsley and stuff like that too. But yeah, it was good. Pretty easy to do. You bought Shake and Bake a couple times in the last year? Okay, so it probably is. It may be that our grocery doesn't carry it. I'll tell you though, sometimes I have the darndest time finding. They don't put things where I would expect Shake and Bake with the spices. Where you go buy your oregano and basil and all that, those jars. I would think that the Shake and Bake would be in there, but they don't always stock shelves the way I think. So sometimes I have a really hard time finding stuff. I have had something on my grocery list now 3 times. What is it that I keep thinking I'm going to get and find, and I haven't found yet? Can't remember now. But you know what I'm talking about. It's I'm trying to see what I have white on my drive band here. Come on. There. Yeah, I have fiber on there. Let me pull that off. Okay. My dry band is black, and I'm seeing these white spots. Somehow I got fiber on there. But yeah, sometimes I have to look a couple trips before I find something that I'm looking for. One was Bisquick. I finally got that this last trip. Sounds yummy. Yes, it was. What I liked was how the chicken wasn't dried out and got done. Right, it was done. I baked it for an hour and 20 minutes at 350. Which is pretty quick for any oven meal. You use Kroger app on your phone? Oh, okay, you have Kroger, that's where I shop. And make a list, and then when you go to the store, it'll tell me what aisle it's on. Oh. See, I have never actually tried to make my list on the Kroger app. I don't have the Kroger app. I have Kroger through the internet. I bet you the app is different. Maybe I need to look into that. Yeah, I do. I shop at a Kroger. Yeah, the app is very similar to the webpage. Okay. I just have never tried to make a list on the Kroger thing. I am still a paper and pen person that lives on my kitchen table, because when I'm working in the kitchen, that's when I find what I need, and so I end up just writing it down on a piece of paper. Now I could transfer that to the app. I am not a person who carries their phone with, especially in the house. It's usually sitting somewhere. Like these jeans I have on today, they don't have pockets. I've talked to hubby about this before. He says, well, just put it in your pocket. And I said, you just don't understand. They don't make pockets on women's clothing because pockets make women look fatter in the hips. So they don't put pockets in a lot of women's slacks. He's so used to having so many pockets. Gotta make a note here. He is so used to having so many pockets. He just figures, everybody has pockets, right? Okay. And so when you make a shopping list, not add to the cart, then when you go shopping, it will sort them by aisle. They have both shopping list and add to cart. Okay, thank you. So those are different things. So you want to make a shopping list. Yeah. No, you don't either. I usually make the list before you go to the store for things I will need to remember. Yeah, so like you don't add milk to the list because I always remember that. Yeah. I got you, but yeah, I would just transfer it to the app list and not really worry about having the phone around all the time. Yeah. But I'll remember